Assalamu alaikum viewers. Welcome to my first ever YouTube video. As you can tell from the title, it is about balance of payment adjustment in the case of exogenous increase in exports and imports. Now, before I begin explaining the topic, I would like to give an introduction of myself. My name is Fatiha Nusrat, and I'm a student of Shahjalal University of Science and Technology, which is a beautiful and reputed school for higher education located in northeastern part of Bangladesh. I am currently in my sixth semester of honors, majoring in economics. Now, this video is actually my assignment for the course Open Economy Macroeconomics. If you're interested in learning about different topics of economics, maybe for exams or in general, don't forget to subscribe to my channel as more content is coming up. Now, let's begin. So, as you can see here, BOP, balance of payment. What does balance of payment mean? Before jumping into the adjustment in the case of exogenous increase in exports and imports, I would like to cover what BOP actually means. So, the balance of payments is a record of all economic transactions between a country and the rest of the world over a specified period, typically a year, and is divided into the current account, capital account, and financial account. Now, if you remember, I have mentioned that this presentation was actually made for my assignment of the course Open Economy Macroeconomics. Now, if you know the basics of economics, you know what micro and macroeconomics are. But focus on the words open economy. It is not dealing the micro or macroeconomic aspects of a closed economy or country itself. It is dealing with an open economy, meaning that the country is dealing with the rest of the world. There are multiple economies that are like transacting economic values, transacting monies, goods, and services among each other. So the balance of payments is actually a record, or to be more specific, it is the accounts, the like in the accounting, how you keep the record of the inflows and outflows of money. This is the same, but in case of economic transactions between a country and the rest of the world. And this usually happens over a specified period, usually a year. So the accounts are divided into current account, capital account, and financial account. Now let's move forward. So as you can see in this picture, I have mentioned export and import. Now, when does the inflow or outflow of money happens in an economy from or to the rest of the world? When it exports or imports, meaning when it buys or sells goods and services from or to the rest of the world. So export is selling goods and services to the rest of the world, and import is buying goods and services from the rest of the world. Now, if you are keeping track, I have mentioned three accounts. Now let's see the adjustment in current account in cases of exogenous increase. Now, what is an exogenous increase? Exogenous means something that is not within a model. So any change in the volume of exports or imports that doesn't happen for the the actions of the exporting countries or the importing countries, something that is not in control of an economy. For example, an increased demand. Say that Bangladesh is trading with India and there's an increased demand of Bangladeshi product in India. Now, this increase in demand is not in Bangladesh's control. So this is an exogenous increase. Or say that there's a devaluation of currency. Say that the value of Bangladeshi currency suddenly dropped. Now, this will lead to a change in the export or import, which was not in Bangladesh's control. Or say some government policies that influence the export or import. Those things are exogenous increases or exogenous changes that is not fully in control of the exporting or importing economy. Now let's see what happens in case of exports increase. An increase in exports means that a country is selling more goods and services to foreign markets. As I mentioned before, export is selling goods to the rest of the world. So an increase in exogenous exports means a sudden increase in the export, or suddenly a country is selling more goods and services to foreign markets. This will have a positive impact on the current account balance as exports are recorded as credits. Since we're selling goods, there's an inflow of money. So this will create surplus in the current account. It means more money is flowing into the country due to increased sales. Okay, now let's see what will happen in case of imports increase. So an increase in imports implies that the country is buying more goods and services from foreign markets. So this will have a negative impact on the current account balance as imports are recorded as debits in the current account. If you have knowledge of accounting, you should know what credits and debits are, but I'll explain in more simple terms. An increase in imports simply means we'll be like buying more goods and services from foreign markets. This will like create an outflow of money, so will create a deficit. A deficit in the current account means more money is leaving the country due to increased purchases from abroad. Now, we have separately discussed the uh, results of exports increase and imports increase. Let's see the net result. Okay, so the net effect on the capital and financial account depends on the specific financial transactions associated with the increase in exports and imports. It could lead to an increase or decrease in the balance depending on how the financial markets respond. This is pretty self-explanatory. So you cannot say with 100% certainty what will happen to the capital and financial account. It may it may depend on various factors. It could lead to an increase or decrease depending on how the financial market actually responds. Okay, so the overall impact on balance of payment. The topic that we had begun with was the impact or the adjustment of balance of payment in case of exogenous increase in exports and imports. So what will be the overall impact? If the increase in exports is greater than the increase in imports, the current account balance will improve, which is generally seen as a positive outcome for the economy. So what does this line mean? It is it is pretty self-explanatory actually. Like I mentioned, what is exports? It is selling more goods. This creates a surplus in the current account. And what is imports? It is buying more foreign goods, which is creating a deficit in the current account. So let's say that both exports and imports are increasing, but the increase in exports is higher than the increase in imports. So the surplus is higher than the deficit. So current account balance will improve and it will be a positive outcome for the country. Now, this was for the current account. We have two more accounts, capital and financial account. We have said in the previous slide that the capital and financial account will reflect the financial consequences of this trade imbalance. If the country is receiving more foreign currency or investments due to the trade surplus, it will likely have a positive impact on the overall balance of payments. Okay, so an exogenous increase in exports and imports can also affect exchange rates. Increased exports might lead to a stronger domestic currency, while increased imports might weaken the currency. This, in turn, can affect trade dynamics. Okay, moving forward, it's important to note that the balance of payments is a complex and dynamic system, and the effects of an exogenous increase in exports and imports will depend on various factors, including the size of the increase, the structure of the economy, and the global economic environment. Additionally, government policies such as currency interventions or trade tariffs can also influence the outcomes. This was it. Thank you for listening to my presentation.